entertainment. Yeah. So far for all I'm enjoy forever. But you no pay attention to the intimidation she dey face. No be like water. You no get anything. If woman get confidence, oh, then she no be woman.
Egg donation in fertility program is helping women, because you will notice these days that women are going to childbearing age at a later time than before. And when you are 35 and above, the quality of your eggs begin to decline rapidly. So the idea of donation to help people become mothers and to make families happy was a societal thing. It's a noble agenda that when it first started, it was to assist women who were coming out to intervene to ensure that other women who through secondary infertility, age, and other unexplained infertility are able to have children. It takes two before you get an embryo, the egg and the sperm. And when eggs are donated, all the necessary paperwork is done to ensure that the donor and the receiver are happy at the end of the day. The donor for doing a noble deed and the receiver for not getting embarrassed later. And that is why there are legal processes binding this. And fertility clinics will always talk about all the pros and cons with donors. Donors used to be family members, but because of the downstream negative effects that came from there, because you imagine if you were donating an egg and all of a sudden the person that received the egg now trains the child, because the environment influences the genes. So it's not just about the genes alone, it's about what the parents of the child bring onto the table. The first 6 years of raising a child are the critical moments where the basic foundation of what that child will be later in life are formed. That's why our mothers took the sacrifice. And women in science to find out that we don't progress as fast as men. Because the time of raising children, everything has to take a backseat.
When we decide to bring up this thing about egg donation and the pitfalls, we thought that it would be better for a medically qualified person to come and share with us our experience in the field of egg donation, in the field of obstetrics and gynecology. And so we decided to bring somebody that have the expertise and have been working with women or youths that will be using their eggs, even though the youth might not know the implication, the false implication or disadvantages of doing this. Even though we have so many advantages inherent in this, we also have the pitfalls. And so that is why we are talking about it today, so that we can also know and we have the experts talking to us about it. You don't go on internet or Google to search for things. You have to hear it from the horse's mouth. So I want you to sit back and relax and enjoy the lecture. And the Medical Women Association of Nigeria, our motto is healing with the love of the mother. And so we are all medically qualified women, doctors that pass through all the specialties.
It's a great pleasure that I welcome you on behalf of the management, staff and students of the University of Ibadan, the first and the best university in Nigeria. To this all-important seminar that addresses the topical issue of societal value, health sustainability for both young and mature females. The theme for this year's celebration of the International Day for Women and Girls in Science is Women and Girls in Science Leadership, a new era of sustainability. Let me appreciate the leadership of OWSD Ibadan and M1 Oyo State chapter for this brilliant initiative to collaborate with the Students' Union, University of Ibadan, and educate our female students and secondary school students, especially from International School Ibadan, Ibadan College, and Ibadan Grammar School about their reproductive health, in line with the objectives of ensuring women and girls active contribution to societal advancements through making appropriate choices for health and sustainability. The female gender plays critical roles in maintaining the nation's human capital development and appropriate topics that address our roles and responsibilities in ensuring a healthy and progressive society, which cannot be overemphasized. As nature's nurturers, our eggs are important in ensuring that babies are born, and we have the responsibility of ensuring that we assist one another to achieve the joy of motherhood. This explains the brilliant initiative that birthed the idea of assisted reproduction, that's in vitro fertilization, so that other women who are experiencing fertility problems, either due to advanced age or unexplained infertility, can experience the joy of motherhood. At the University of Ibadan, we are ever so proud of the initiative of the OWSD and M1 Oyo State Chapter, and it is my desire that the dream of ensuring female reproductive health sustainability receives a major boost through this interactive seminar. Please accept the good wishes and support of the management of the University of Ibadan, as we are happy to collaborate further with your organization in ensuring the health and reproductive safety of our students in line with our mission and vision. Once again, I welcome you all to this seminar, and I hope that your reproductive knowledge is enriched and new information is given to you to ensure reproductive sustainability for women of all categories towards the national development.
It is with great pleasure that I give this goodwill message focused on raising awareness about egg donation and the potential pitfalls of excessive donation in young women. The Organization for Women in Science International has carefully crafted this brilliant theme in 2024 celebration of the International Day of Women and Girls in Science, tagged Women and Girls in Science Leadership, a new era for sustainability. As advocates for women's health and empowerment, it is imperative for us to address the potential risks and ethical considerations surrounding egg donation, especially when it comes to young women. While donating eggs can be a selfless act of generosity, it is crucial to ensure that it is done safely and responsibly with a full understanding of the implications. The American Society for Reproductive Medicine has posited that a woman can only donate eggs for a maximum of 6 times in a lifetime and should wait 3 to 4 months between each donation. This implies that a woman can only donate 3 to 4 times in a year and only for 1.5 years. Hormone therapy is administered after a donor's period has started, usually on the 2nd day of the cycle, and injections were given for about 10 days. The number of eggs that is retrieved during a fertility cycle is between 10 and 20. This is contrary to the belief that many women have about donating just 1 egg.
I like to note that many of our young women out there are already involved in this business. It's a business to them. And like we hear of people selling their organs, they're already selling their eggs in multiples. What do I say? How do I describe it? And so they do not know the implications. But for us, we're privileged to be here this morning to know what the pitfalls are, and that prepares us for the future. And so it is good to have it the way we think about it in the library balance, that knowledge is power. You are gaining the knowledge that will empower you to lead a sustainable life. And someone says that sustainability is not not about doing less harm, but about doing more good. More good to those we're donating to, and more good to ourselves. How will it be that we have donated all of our eggs, and then it is time to have our own children we're not able to? And so we are being prepared for the future, which is sustainability. The crux of every action, every activity on the earth of today is sustainability. Whichever way you want to look at is sustainability, and that's what we are doing this morning. That is why I'm so pleased to see that this is happening here.
On behalf of the Faculty of Science, I appreciate the OWSD UI branch, and of course the Medical Women Association of Nigeria Ibadan branch for organizing this kind of program. When Professor Anok was inviting me, the first thing I asked her was that, am I supposed to be in this meeting? Then, having listened to the welcome address by the Deputy Vice Chancellor, I know the reason why I must be here, because I also have 2 guests. So I'm very hopeful that in the course of this program, our young ladies that are here, you are going to learn a lot. And it's a very good thing for you to know about this thing very early like this, so that as you get this information, it's very hopeful that you also go out there and spread the news among your colleagues. And on that note, I want to thank the 2 organizations for coming together to come up with this kind of program. This is one of the things that we need as a nation to grow. And I wish everyone a very fruitful deliberation as we go about this program.
It's my pleasure to be here this afternoon. It's already noon. And like the Dean of Science said, we were at a meeting and we had to run here because we felt that OWSD is a renowned organization that we cannot but associate with. And I'd like to thank the leadership of OWSD. Honestly, I'm still relishing the reminiscence of December and looking forward to December 2024 again. Thank you so much. Professor Ayima Adeogun, you are really taking this society much more forward. Thank you so much. And we thank you for your leadership, how you are taking us. We cannot but appreciate you. Thank you. And this topic that is being brought this afternoon, when I saw it, I said, oh wow, this is a big one, which is actually germane in our society, especially in our day and time when we find primary and secondary infertility all around. And to crown it all, in Africa, if you don't have a child, it's like you are not complete. So that shows this is a germane topic that each and every one of us will need to listen to, and I believe that we're going to learn so much.
For us in the Faculty of Basic Medical Sciences, we wish to align with OWSD and the Nigerian Medical Women Association on the theme to mark this year's International Day of Women and Girls in the Science, particularly the thing that has to do with a new era of sustainability. This is a crusade for building next generation of girls, ladies and women in science, not only in science, mothers for sustainability of life, especially in Sub-Saharan Africa. And I want to congratulate the students that are here present.
I want to appreciate the organizers of this program, particularly our coordinator, Professor Ayima Adeogun,
quite indefatigable, energetic woman. Her leadership is really commendable. When I read this lecture coming out, that's enough for you. And I'm not surprised at what. So I welcome you all to the Department of Zoology. When we think of the issue of infertility and how to assist, expectant couples to have children, the whole idea has really advanced. It has advanced globally, but the burden is there. The burden is there in some areas. In our here, we have this burden that even failure, the rate of failure of achieving this goal is quite encompassing.
This is actually a very germane program, and I'm happy that this is coming from us, from OWSD, because we care so much about our girls, and it's a good way to celebrate International Day of Women and Girls in Science. So I'm happy for those of you that are here, and I'm hoping that others will join us soon so that everybody can benefit from this program, which is good for all of us, girls and even male students too. Everybody will learn something from this. Thank you very much for coming, and I'm sure we'll have a good time together.
For the little time I have spent here, I have got to see that the brain has been a better place for me to be than to be here. And I have not even listened to the main lecture itself. I have only listened to the good messages, and I will say that I've been properly informed. At my leisure times, I pry into the social media. If you do, you will appreciate the importance of this program. This we are talking about is already going on. And the people involved are the vulnerable ones. Many of them are so uninformed. So if you have something like this going on, now we can educate people and see how far we can take this one further into the society so that the young girls could be properly informed. I don't know if there are ethical guidelines already in place for this egg donation or whatever. If there is none, I want to plead with the organizers to see how you can build up a homegrown ethical guidelines, not the one based on foreign cultures, the one based on our local culture, to see how those who are donating and those who are receiving will benefit from it, and nobody will be cheated.
I'll start with a little bit of background knowledge in egg donation. Being a law student, and I'm taking part in course of medical law, and then I remember doing egg donation. And there was this view about how it's a source of revenue for some and it's a source of happiness for some people. But at the end of the day, it's another opportunity to put a smile to people with a fertility issue. So seeing that the range of people here cut across people from 15, 16, and 17 and above, it shows how we're intentional about learning this on time and see how we can contribute to sustainable development and also putting a smile to people's faces. So I'm a part of this course, and I'm glad to see as many young women also learning about this, regardless of how purpose the English sound. It's nice to see how we are breaking it down to very simple English, so people from ISI can understand and see how we can do more of this in our society.
Very nice to be here, and in fact, I bless God for being a part of this seminar, because at times we feel we know, but we find out that until we are told, we feel we know so much. So a seminar like this is a forum for enlightenment. And I believe we'll be more enlightened than we were before coming to this program.
She's presently the Medical Director of General Hospital, RMO, in Ibadan. She's a College of Medicine. See, we're bringing important people to you. She's a College of Medicine, University of Ibadan alumnus. She's a fellow. She's a fellow of the National Postgraduate College of Obstetrics and Gynecologists, and also has a certificate in sexual and reproductive health, Geneva. She's happily married with children. I present to you Dr. Shakirat Olanlege, who will be talking to us about egg donation in fertility interventions. What are the pitfalls?
We're getting older. We are born with about 300 to 400,000 eggs in our ovaries. However, as we grow older, the peak fertility time is between 20 and 30 years. By the time a woman goes beyond 35, this egg is depleted to about 25,000 eggs. And by the time a woman reaches perimenopausal and menopausal age, it reduces to about 2,005 to 1,000 eggs. But this is a general view. It could differ from individual to individual. Then it affects women who otherwise will not be able to conceive due to egg factor to do so. That is, that's egg donation. So the first child born from egg donation was recorded in Australia in 1983. And the first child from in vitro fertilization was Louise Brown, who was delivered in 1978. So last year was actually the 45th year of delivery. The Center for Disease Control in the United States of America has reported about 47,000 cases of donor egg births. Oocyte and embryo donation account for about 80% of all in vitro fertilization births in the United States of America. Nigeria has the highest egg diversity population in the world. Can we believe that? So, there is not sufficient data to actually back this up because we have so many of these things happening. Hush. Hospitals that do this, they take their clients in, they throw the back door. So many of these things are happening without data to support this. But as it is, presently, Nigeria happens to be the highest egg donation country as well as embryo donation. Nigeria is the oldest mother who in 2004 delivered at the age of 66 years, and then she was surpassed in 2006 by Maria, who was 66 years and 58 days. However, she died about 2.5 years after she delivered a set of twins, and then the debate was settled. That is it really worthwhile? Should there be age restrictions about who and when should they take this egg donation? Because if the woman delivers at 66 years, she died 2 years after from cancer, which should be related to all the exogenous drugs she had taken to conceive based on this in vitro fertilization. So this debate is ongoing. Now, who is the oocyte donor or the egg donor? That is a woman who donates her eggs for another to use for the purpose of assisted conception via in vitro fertilization. And who is the recipient? It is a woman. She is a woman who receives the eggs from the donor and uses it to achieve conception via in vitro fertilization. Most times, the emphasis studies are actually geared towards the recipient. She is the one that studies are abound about what goes on to her when she receives the egg throughout the period of pregnancy till she delivers. Not much is said or done about the oocyte donor, and that is why there are not much data to actually support what is being done in egg donation. So why do we even need to donate eggs? So women, for so many reasons, advanced female age. Now we have a lot of females that are advancing their educational career, their even business career. So they don't settle down on time. Because we already said that the peak age of fertility is is between 20 and 30 years. And that is when we actually encourage our females to settle down. Because we don't want a situation where we have depletion of the egg reserve. So now in Nigerian context, we have people coming into fertility clinics at around 37 years old. However, as of last year, the National Assembly, one of our senators from the Ikorodu district put up the act that there should be some restrictions on this donation of eggs, such that we should have this being under legislation. It's just what should be put in open that anybody, anywhere, and anyhow, there should be legislation to actually say what should be done about egg donation. So the policy, all our cuts, we all have. And to conclude on my talk, insect donation is an important and beneficial aspect of assisted reproduction, as I've said, and egg oocyte donation, because as you said, it will lead to death if the complications are not well managed. So my references are the Medical Fertility Center, the Punch newspaper, they have very good articles, got one from 2015 and then there is another one from last year 2023 about October in the University College of Hospital Ibadan. When they had the first set of in vitro fertilization babies were born in March 2021 and the NMC Center in United States. So thank you all for listening.
We decided to hold this workshop to discuss reproductive sustainability as it pertains to egg donation and the advantages and pitfalls that may arise from egg donation. Because we realize that egg donation, indiscriminate egg donation, seems to be very rampant in Nigeria. And information has it that Nigeria may likely be the highest country, the country with the highest egg donation globally. This is a bit worrying because when we did our investigations, we found out that girls are beginning to turn this activity that is supposed to be a noble societal responsibility to a money-making venture. And looking at the peculiar nature of the female reproductive process, we needed to educate them on the fact that you don't have as many eggs as males have sperms. The total number of eggs that a woman has is definite. At birth, you have about 300 to 400,000 eggs, millions of eggs, 300 to 4,000 eggs. But only 300 to 400 of these eggs have the chance of being used either for ovulation or during the menstrual cycle, which means that this number is fixed. And it's expected that at the end of a year, you ovulate between 12 to 13 eggs, which means that within a 10-year reproductive period, a number of eggs will have been ovulated. And when we talk about reproduction, assisted reproduction, where we deal with donors, about 10 to 20 eggs can be harvested per time. That's why it is advisable that you don't donate eggs more than 6 times in a life cycle. But we have seen situations where girls are donating eggs for up to 7 times a year because they have the incentive that is given, which is between 100 to 150,000. And some of them say, okay, I can support my family. Some of them use it to buy wigs and buy cloth. And now it's been turned to what it was not originally meant for. And that's why we felt we should discuss this. More importantly, aside from infertility, issues of cancer is beginning to arise. Ovarian cancer, cervical cancer, due to the stimulants that are given that may have a negative effect. And we don't know who will have it, but it's a possibility. And that's why we decided to have this educative program to discuss this topical issue and inform our girls about the responsibility and the consequences that may arise if this is not handled properly.
egg donation, or precisely oocyte donation, is that involves the donation of the oocyte of a woman during her peak fertility, that is 20 to 30 years of age, for the use of couples who have background history of infertility. Talking about the acceptance according to cultural and religious biases, as earlier said in the lecture, that there are some religions that are not too inclined towards donation from other people. However, they accept own egg donation, in which you can donate your egg to have assisted reproductive technique to achieve conception and subsequently babies. So the African culture also may have its own reservations according to the way we've been from our previous generations, that maybe adoption may be the in thing as at then. So we've clearly spelled it out. Egg donation should be mainly for altruism reasons, selflessness, such that for couples who have not been able to achieve pregnancy due to one factor or the other, and they may need donation from other people to be able to achieve their reproductive end. So in this wise, one will say that for donors in our setting in Nigeria, it should not be seen as a thing of money-making venture. That as much as possible, there should be guidelines that will be associated with this egg donation, so that it will not be abused, and advocacy should be for legal interventions, so that this will be inculcated into our national health bill, and it won't be something that will be done by anybody, anyhow, and anywhere.
Today we just had a program organized by OWSD, Oyo State Branch, in collaboration with female medical practitioners in Oyo State. The program is about egg donation in fertility assistance, and honestly is a beautiful program. I couldn't believe that I would sit for 2 hours despite the workload that I have on my desk, but honestly it's a beautiful program, and it's worth the time. Egg donation is just as simple as the name, donation of eggs for fertility assistance. And it's actually common now. You know, our society, especially Africa, if a woman does not have a child, it's as if she's incomplete, which is completely wrong anyway. But then, in order for her to fulfill this cause, she will rather do anything legally possible. Note my word, legally possible. Of course, we know there are illegal, roles that people can play. But this is a legal, way to have a child. Like getting somebody's egg, somebody else's egg, and then fertilization, and then she has a child. Away from this seminar we just finished is to get the society aware that it is possible to donate egg, but it is not meant for profit. In such a manner that we should educate our girls, our women, you can do to help, to put smile on people's faces, but not for profit. In such a manner that you don't end up hurting yourself or creating problem for yourself at the end of the day.
Before we could say the country is ripe for that kind of a procedure, there are some steps that should have been taken, like legislative steps, legal backing, advocacy, education of the populace. Those things are not there, and that is why we see those young girls going on and do it, and then people are taking advantage of them because they don't know what are the implications. They just tell them the advantage of it. They don't tell them the implication of it. But if we have a legal backing, for instance, maybe there's a restricted age of people that can do it, which is not there. So anybody can just go on to talk to a young girl of a teenager and so far is in puberty, is ovulating, can just go ahead and donate egg. So we are not right. Personally, I think we are not right. Egg donation is a process whereby the fertile or viable eggs in the ovary of a female is retrieved and used for fertilization with another egg from the male, and it's majorly done for couple that have problem with childbearing, that they don't have a natural way of giving birth.
Obvious that Nigerians are the largest donors of eggs for the purpose of fertility programs and IVF. So that means that it's not whether we have religious concerns, the media issues, the communal issues, those are factors now that we have to bring into our discussion on an ongoing subject that must be taken care of. And as they rightly said, there are legal, ethical and policy issues that must be considered to ensure that the rights of the egg donors are protected and that they are not, because the major issue we have now is that the donors are not properly informed and they are donating eggs, and their donation leads to issues that affect them, like cancer. Sometimes in their own instances they leads to infertility, and then if we do not regulate this issue properly, we'll have mismanagement of the patient, the donors, and then it leads to criminal activity. Somebody pointed out rightly that what happens when a student or a person goes for a medical procedure and it is their eggs are harvested illegally. Those are things that, whether we like it or not, are happening. And this topic is actually very important for our young girls today, because you may think you are doing something good today and it may have a negative impact on you tomorrow. So I think knowledge and awareness is important, and that is what this program today was designed to address, so that we are all aware, we create advocacy to ensure that people who decide to donate eggs are better informed for a better tomorrow.
Egg donation has been a very prominent thing going on in our community right now, because lots of families are childless, and in Nigeria it's essential for children in marriage, because children are seen like the fruit of marriage. And like before, like those days, it used to be that married women were often insulted and they often stigmatized, but now a way has been opened for them. But this means it's being misused. Young girls are not well informed and they go into these processes without adequate knowledge of what they are going into. Many of them, instead of giving joy to those people, also cause them pain indirectly. So today I have learned, and I would also disseminate to other people that I come in contact with, that as a means of helping others, you should not make it have a detrimental effect to yourself. For example, the standard number of times one should have the donations is 6 times in a lifetime, but most girls have made it a means of business because of how difficult our economy is. They should not let this push them to the wall, and they should not let it affect their own future of being mothers.